According to Subaru and Experian data, up to 97% of Subaru Crosstreks sold in the US are still on the road today, representing that the brand's fastest-growing SUV model is reliable and worth keeping around. The Japanese automaker has moved over 1 million units in just 2 generations of Crosstrek, now with a new and improved third general introduced this year to keep things going. The new Crosstrek is available with either a 2.0L or 2.5L engine, the former of which we've already reviewed. Here's what we think of the more powerful, but just as efficient 2024 Subaru Crosstrek 2.5L. Hint: it's the one you should get. The 2024 Subaru Outback 2.5L Sport. Among the heap of data Subaru representatives presented on our drive of the new 2.5-liter Crosstrek was the factoid that 1 in 4 owners claims to drive off-road with their Crosstrek. Demand was also so strong for a roof rack that it's now standard on all Crosstrek trims except the base model, including the sport trim we tested among the retired ski slopes of Woodstock, New York last week. The sport trim starts at $30,290 including destination, and comes with dual-function X mode for off-roading drive modes, an all-weather package, wireless phone charger, and a sport cloth interior with yellow accents that match the additional yellow touches exclusive to the sport exterior. The 18-inch wheel design is inspired by bicycle sprockets, for all those cycling Subaru fans. The Sport is only available with the 2.5L motor making 182 horsepower, up from 152 horsepower on the 2.0L, and 178 pound-feet of torque, up from 145 pound-feet on the 2.0L, paired exclusively to a CVT transmission. The manual option has been dropped for the third General Crosstrek. The 2.5L's claimed combined 29 mpg rating matches the 2.0L's, with only 1 mpg improvement for individual city and highway ratings on the smaller 2.0L. Why would anyone get the slower 2.0L if it's just as efficient? Price: the third General Crosstrek starts at the same price as the outgoing base model, but with all of the improvements. The base 2.0L Crosstrek starts at $26,290 including destination. The updated Crosstrek, across the board, now comes with updated EyeSight driver assistance as standard on all trims, an 11.6-inch infotainment system now available with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a smoother shifting CVT with a sport tune in the available sport mode on some trims, a dual-pinion steering rack adapted from the WRX, aluminum front fenders, and a quieter cabin thanks to a more rigid structure. The chassis is said to improve torsional rigidity by 10% over the outgoing model. The exterior has been overhauled with more aerodynamic efficiency and a new, frameless grille design. With a little bit of precipitation earlier in the week, we had perfect conditions for mud on the access roads to the Platkill Mountain ski slopes, our playground for the day with the 2.5L Crosstrek Sport with 8.7 inches of ground clearance. Navigating the vehicle into its dual X mode settings is easy, one for light snow or gravel, the other for deep snow and mud, the latter of which we used here, with a tap on the top bar of the 11.6-inch center display screen. In the deeper setting, traction control is automatically turned off, and more wheel spin is allowed to help get the Crosstrek out of deep, sticky situations, and it handles it all with aplomb. Diving into mud puddles is no problem, the Subaru just finds its groove and spins its way out incredibly reliably. Unfortunately, there's a severe lack of steering feel, and it feels nearly completely anonymous what your steering inputs are doing. If I were rock crawling, I'd be completely lost. But in mud, it was still intuitive enough to keep me clear of the trees I was sliding around with no problems. The hill descent control feature, which lets you crawl with the throttle to a low speed and then holds it down a hill, is also intuitive and comfortable to use, slowly letting us slip down the mountain, barely sliding through the really wet stuff, and offering a ton of control. It's on-road where much of the improvements for the 2024 Crosstrek come to shine, as impressive as its off-road chops are. While the 2.0L Crosstrek feels like you're strangling the engine for power on ramps, barely making it up to highway speeds for merging, the 2.5L is exactly enough to comfortably move the Crosstrek, on or off-road. It comes with 2 throttle maps, an I mode and an S mode, the latter of which offers quicker throttle response. I will say I had to drive almost exclusively in S mode to enjoy myself, as the I mode is just a tad laggy to respond to inputs. Subaru added new engine mounts that are said to reduce vibrations by 20%, A new oil pump results in a quieter transmission, peak torque comes 700 rpm lower, more adhesive is used in the roof and other paneling for fewer vibrations, and while the overall vehicle got a little heavier than the previous generation, Subaru claims the new chassis is actually lighter. The front seats are now mounted directly to the chassis with bolstered support, supposedly reducing head sway and fatigue while driving, which seemed to work as our ride was incredibly comfortable. The Crosstrek seemingly floats down the road. It feels like there's hardly any weight or rolling resistance while you're moving, and it will pick up speed down a hill if you're just cruising. I found it incredibly relaxing and easy to drive on the slightly wet, twisty New York mountain roads we were afforded, and it handled the corners with a ton of confidence and no sign of wheel slip. The fact that it can keep speed so well will help its rather underpowered engine offerings. A new, third EyeSight system camera is said to improve the driver assistance systems, as well. On highways, where the system is intended to be used, Subaru's advanced cruise control and lane keeping assistance work a treat. Though, the steering seems worn about keeping your hands on the wheel even if they're on it, which can get annoying, along with all of the system's beeping. It beeps when it finds a car ahead of you, it beeps when you threaten to leave your lane without signaling, it beeps when you press certain buttons or activate features, it's always beeping. Maybe that helped keep me aware, but I didn't love the system. As for the new Crosstrek itself, beeping aside, it's a tough little thing off-road, and incredibly smooth and comfortable on-road. It's an incredible balance, it just screams for a road trip to somewhere fun, and its new styling is as aggressive and sporty as ever, which I like. Plus, it's now available in green paint, which should sell very well considering how good it looks with a fresh coat of mud on it.